Hello, welcome back for part two. This one we're going to talk about relative minimums and maximums, and then we're also going to talk about increasing and decreasing intervals, and these two kind of go together. When we're talking about a relative minimum, it's the lowest point of a particular section of a graph. You want to think of it maybe as the bottom of a valley, okay? So if I had a parabola and it mirrors up like this, the bottommost, this would be your relative minimum. And so that ordered pair at this point would show that relative minimum. If you have one that is going like this, the maximum would be this, and it's also as an ordered pair. A lot of times they even call them the vertex. So it's where it changes the direction. Okay? And it changes the direction. They're always written as ordered pairs. So you won't say this is at -1. This one might be at -1, +3. This one might be -1, +2. It's just where they happen to be. You will not have, in cases such as these two examples, you will only have a minimum or a maximum. If it's curving up, then you know you have a minimum. If it's curving down, then you know you have a maximum. So when I take a look at these examples, we want to decide, do we have a minimum or a maximum? And so when I look at this, I see that it is curving up. I do not have a maximum. My maximum would be a positive infinity up there somewhere. But I do have a minimum. And my minimum would be at 1, 2, 3, looks like -4. So I have a minimum at 1, -4. The reason we don't have a maximum is because it's continuing on. It's off the graph, so we know that it's going to continue on. When I take a look at the second one, I notice that the lowest point is here. And so I have a minimum of 0, 1. And I have a possible maximum here at 5 or infinity. Okay, so my maximum would be positive infinity for my y values. And my other one would be, so it would be greater than 1, but less than 5 on this one. But most of the time we just look for a minimum or a maximum. Okay? So increasing intervals, this is where your y values get larger as you look at the graph from left to right. So when I'm looking across, you see how it's narrow here, and then as we go up the y values, we notice that it's getting wider across, and so that's called an increasing interval. A decreasing interval is when the y values get smaller as we look. So if I were to follow this one, you'll notice that it's going down. So this one's going to be decreasing until we hit this point. And then once it hits that point, then it's going to be increasing. It's not so much the domain and range. It's kind of like you write the x's, but you read the y's. So our increasing interval starts at 1, for my x is 1, and it's increasing to positive infinity. My decreasing, it's somewhere up there, so it is starting at infinity, and it goes to 1 because it's going down to this point right here. When I look at this one, rating it left to right, I have a decrease, so it's a decrease at infinity to 3. And this one here is increasing, and so it starts at 3 and goes to positive infinity. So remember, we read what's increasing and decreasing, that's your y's, but we write the x's. Read the y's, write the x's. Okay? If you have any questions, make sure you come see your teacher.